And up next is the Holly presented Dukes of Hazzard episode, Season 1, Episode 4, titled Repo Men, written by Bob Clark, the director of Porky's and A Christmas Story, directed by Ron Satlog. Sorry, Ron. Original air date, February 16th, 1979, and here's the show preview right here.
Dumb enough to repossess it.
Damn, they sure must love that car.
What do you think old Burt Reynolds would do at a time like this?
Y'all hang on for a ripping good time.
There we go. That was our preview. Okay, for you new listeners on YouTube who are seeing this now, if you're brand new, we've reviewed all 7 seasons of the Dukes of Hazzard on our audio podcast. You can go back and find them all out there in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, all over the place. We are now going through all 7 seasons again with select episodes just for the YouTube audience. I am Rob Kibbe. He is Justin Corndog Cornette. The wounded guy there is Bernie McPartland. Here we are right here. So, fellas, do you remember we have reviewed this before, all 3 of us?
Right. I sure do.
Been a few years. That was episode 243. But do you know that the first review on the Kibbe and Finnegan show predated the Kibbe and Finnegan show? That was on Duke's Cast number 4. That was exactly 10 years ago right now.
That's crazy.
Wow.
In February of 2016, Mike Finnegan and I reviewed this very episode. And then the 3 of us reviewed this again about 2.5 years ago. This will be our first time running this through for the YouTube audience. I am excited. Has everybody seen the episode?
I have. I've seen this episode countless times. It's easily double-digit times.
How about you, Bern? Did you watch it?
I did watch it. I didn't remember watching it the first time till the feature car came in. It's like, oh, yeah, I remember this.
All right, Corndog, in the grand scheme of Georgia episodes, is this your favorite?
Let's see.
5 Georgia episodes.
It would... My 3 favorite would be Daisy's Song. Yeah, this would be one of the top 2, I would say, of the 5.
This might be my favorite.
Yeah.
Here's the IMDb summary. Bo and Luke are hired by a corrupt used car dealer to repossess a Rolls-Royce so that he can sell the car to Boss, who plans to give the car to his wife Lulu as a present. The job is easier said than done since the luxury car is owned by a gang of counterfeiters. That's right.
Pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. DVD summary. The car's a wreck, but the engine's a honey, and Bo and Luke have to have it. So they make a deal with a car dealer who's as crooked as a switchback trail and whose scheme could land them behind bars. That's when the DVDs were still kind of funny. I like it.
Mm-hmm. They were trying.
We're in a little summary music here. Here's mine. In the world of Corndog, there are a handful of Dukes of Hazzard moments that will make his skills glow. This, dear friends, is one of those episodes. First, it's a Georgia era episode. There's only 5 of those, and he loves those. Second, this one has a lot, and I mean a lot, of Dodge Charger moments, and he likes Dodge Chargers. A lot.
A little bit, yeah.
But third, this has a moment in time when we see the General Lee, known as Lee 1 to the public, the one with the chrome rocker trim that does the jump at the end of the opening credits. We see that car in this episode reused as a different role, and it's all on camera. And that car, that very car, became the story of lore when it was found, restored, and then sold at a Barrett Jackson auction in 2012 to pro golfer Bubba Watson. The questions of how much of a car can you remove when you restore it, those all get front and center here. Also in this episode, Bo and Luke get a job repoing a Rolls-Royce so they can get paid not in cash, but with a wrecked Richard Petty race car that can be used for parts for the General Lee. 9 dogs for me on this one. I like this episode a lot. And I'm going to say that this is the best of the Georgia episodes for chemistry. Because they are clicking. Like John Schneider and Tom Wopat are excellent together.
Yeah,
Like
by this
they're
point,
already really great.
Yeah, by this point, they've kind of started to pretty much find their groove.
Okay, I have a list of notes that I just took as I watched this for the first time, probably since we recorded this or reviewed this a few years ago. And these are all a little bit random. And then I'd like to go through some specifics in here. So some of these, I just have questions for you. So Corndog, here's the first question. In the opening credits, and I mean the theme song, we see Bo and Luke driving in a fully caged car. What car is that? I think it's from like episode 1. It's the one where Luke is sitting in the passenger seat, like, and he's barely seeing over the dash.
That's that's number 2. Because for a while there, number 2 did not have a passenger seat.
Like, what did happen? Like a bucket?
He probably sat on a piece of like a 2x4 or something. I'm not really sure what he sat on.
Do you like generalies with full cages in them? I think it's a cool look.
Yeah, well, it kind of depends. I mean, if it's when you get the sidebars, that's when they become a problem. And Lee 1 and 2 had the bar that's basically horizontal. It's not at a 45 like some race cars. This was like NASCAR style, where it goes right around your rib cage.
Mm-hmm.
And getting in those cars is a pain. So yeah, I do like the full cages, but I would like them a little bit more user friendly, maybe. Kind of defeats the purpose of having a full cage.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it definitely adds to the race car factor to have a full cage.
When the episodes open, we see General Lee running up through the fields, and it's kind of rare. The windows are up.
Mm-hmm.
You almost never see the General Lee driving around with the windows up, but the windows were up, and this was, late fall, early winter, where the filming was being done. It was probably cold outside, but we see the windows up in this episode all the time. And this car is not a 69.
Correct. This is the 68 that we actually saw in front of Star Recording Studio at Daisy's Song episode, because the main reason you notice that is because the 01 is really high up on the door, and they would later go back and fix that and make it more uniform.
There's a lot going on in this scene, and the biggest thing that's going on is Waylon Jennings is doing the cameo work. He's doing a lot of voiceover work.
Mm-hmm.
And he does one particular part on the car. The car this is the first episode that I can think of where the General Lee is a title character. And you get this particular clip from Waylon. I like it.
General Lee was highly respected in Hazzard County. Both the Confederate general and the Duke boys' race car. Now, the first was a great leader, and so was the second on the dirt track circuit.
Dirt track circuit. So we've been reminded a few times that the General Lee is a race car, and it's supposed to be a race car on the dirt track circuit. Now, for our Patreon audience, that when we just reviewed The Last American Hero, Junior Johnson, who's portrayed in that movie as Junior Jackson, but Junior Johnson in the movie raced his street car on the dirt tracks and eventually caged it, welded the door shut, and was still driving it on the street. So could it happen? I don't know. It could. I suppose it could.
Maybe back then is a little bit more possible.
This episode is directed by Bob Clark, the director of A Christmas Story. Now he also did direct Porky's, that's true, but he directed A Christmas Story, and he has quite a bit of history with the Dukes of Hazzard, which is surprising. But it's neat to me that somebody who's that tied to something that's a piece of Americana, like A Christmas Story, is tied to this.
Yeah.
Bern, I suppose you have Fragile here somewhere.
Ah, fragile. It must be Italian.
Well, I think that says fragile, honey.
Oh, yeah.
And it was wonderful. Thank you so much.
During this opening scene, I also like how they show a close-up of the dash of the General, and they use 2 different cars for that scene.
Yeah.
When they show the tack, the TikTok tack, it has a wood grain dash, and that's going to be Lee 3. That's the RTSE car.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they show Bo working the steering wheel and shifting, manually shifting, the automatic. That's one of the 68s, probably the same 68 that you see in the field.
I did notice that, and I have a 69 Charger, so I just kind of know what that looks like. I finally realized like 68 dash bezels are a little different. Like the console's a little different. It's more like it's got like aluminum strips all the way through it.
Right.
It's like bezeled
And
almost.
on the dash bezel, you have this cap that's like, you have your two larger gauges, one for the clock or tack, and then the other for the speedometer. And just to the right of the speedometer, below those four smaller gauges, you have a little cap that snaps in, and you can usually see the outline of this cap. And that's for like I think it's either a radio fade switch or a rear defrost.
We see a lot of unique stuff in here. In these early episodes, we'll see this for a few years, but when they have a fake roll bar in the General Lee, every now and then it will move.
Yeah. A
lot. Like when the Duke boys get in, and on this 68 it does. I mean, it leans back a solid 6 inches.
Yeah. Which
does look a little lame. What's also interesting about this 68 is that it has the AM/FM radio antenna still there. It's like up. And that's just something you don't see a lot about on the General Lee. In these early episodes, you get a lot of good stuff. Now, the gist of the episode is this. Bo and Luke come across accidentally a wrecked Richard Petty race car at a local used car dealership. The dealership is owned by a guy named Ace Parker. That's his character name. But the man's name playing the part is Jerry Rushing. Mm-hmm. Jerry Rushing maybe claims or self-proclaims to be the original Duke boy.
Yeah.
And he has he's a pretty good actor, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's very, very good in this episode. But he does have a history with the Dukes of Hazzard that predates this. He was in the movie Moonrunners.
Right.
He did grow up running moonshine. He did race in NASCAR just a little bit. And he did claim to be the inspiration for Bo Duke.
Yeah.
Along with having family members that were other Dukes of Hazzard members or characters.
Yeah. And of course they changed their names and all. But from what I've heard and understood was that when he took this part of Parker, he was at the end with the understanding that this would be like a reoccurring role. And so, of course, changed pretty quick. And this is the only time we ever see him. But so I think he was kind of bummed out that this character was a one and done character, and that's all he got out of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, he wants to sell Bo and Luke this wrecked race car, and they want to strip it down for parts. But the wrecked race car is important to us because it is actually Lee 1.
Mm-hmm.
It is painted green. It's got stock car wheels on 3 of the 4 corners. Yeah. The front left fender has been beat to death. How much of the car that we see there was Lee 1 after Lee 1 was jumped? Or has it already had fenders and doors and stuff replaced?
Yeah,
and you have photos of this where you have Lee 1 being stripped after it's jumped.
Right. That driver's side fender that is just beat to death, that is that more than likely happened in where they're driving through the junkyard in Daisy's song. And you have the stacked cars with one car that kind of bridges over the 2 stacks. And then the general kind of side swipes one of the cars and knocks the top car down. And it just caves in the fender. That's going to be this fender. And it's possible that it could be the same fender that was used in Daisy's song when they rammed the police car. But the hood is from ramming the police car. The door I know was swapped out. The passenger door is from Lee 3. And so anything that was salvageable off of Lee 1 after the jump was used to fix the other cars that were still being used. But every bad damaged body panel went onto this car that they had, surplus of. So yeah, it's very little of it is actual true Lee 1. I don't even know if the deck lid was, reused from Lee 1. It's possible. No, I take that back, because Lee 1's deck lid, they hand painted Holly Rock Body Shop, and they hung the deck lid up in the shop at H&H Body Shop. So even the deck lid was swapped out with one from another car.
We're not going to, in this episode, go through the details of the restoration of this car after it was found, but it does still exist today. And as far as I know, it's still owned by Bubba Watson. He bought it at Barrett Jackson in 2012. No,
he did sell it.
He did sell it?
It's in Texas at
it's
the
in
moment.
Texas now. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it another celebrity, or is it just privately owned?
No, just privately owned.
Well, for funsies, I remembered Bernie and I both went to Barrett Jackson and comically went on a Saturday. Not the same Saturday. I showed up on the Saturday, like the feature Saturday, and he showed up the Saturday prior. And he called me and he said, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'll be there Saturday." And he said, "It is Saturday." And I said, we're gonna have to learn how to communicate better.
You said show up Saturday.
What we have here is failure to communicate.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Well, I shot a video there. I don't remember why I did this, but I remember it thinking I might need this someday. So here's a few seconds of me interviewing, I think the guy's name is Jim Shine.
Dashboard's original, except for the gauges, steering wheel, all that stuff, the roll bar. Floor pans are patched. There's still like a fold, and you can't see it because the console's over it. So there's a fold in the transmission tunnel that's still there. If you crawl underneath it, you can still see where the subframes hit the ground.
I'm going to stop there because it's a long video. And again, the guy was nice enough. That's a view that I put out right after that event. It has 100,000 views on YouTube. And it's just a mono left channel piece of audio with Jim Shine. Who is Jim Shine?
So he's just one of us. He's a fellow Dukes fan. And I believe he was originally from Maine, but then moved to Indiana during the restoration of Lee 1 and helped throughout the process of, the crew restoring Lee 1. And his biggest part was mostly just making sure that things were accurate as they should be. And, there's little odds and ends that, he's not like a restoration type guy, that does this on a regular basis, but you can do little odds and end jobs here and there along the way. And so, but yeah, during the time of that video, a lot of the truth had not been released on the car. And so even some of what he just said is currently not accurate. So like, for example, the roll cage, none of the roll cage is original. But they told the story as they wanted it told for the longest time. And as evidence came out of different items, okay, well, if that's the original roll cage, then what is this right here? Then, so, but yeah, so he was representing the car there. He had no skin in the game. He was not an owner. He just kind of more or less a representative of the car.
I can tell you that conversation there, and maybe one other's the only ones I ever had with Jim Shine. But he did seem like a fan and an enthusiast. There were things he said in that interview that I was not sure were right.
Yeah.
But I didn't know you then, nor did I know the full story of it. And that full story has come out, and we will discuss that in depth on other episodes or maybe Patreon, because you've got an opinion based in facts.
Yeah. When there's parts that are said to be on the car, but then you hold a part that is definitely part of the car, then it's like, okay, well, if this is this, then how is that what you're saying it is?
And that's why we're going to cover it later.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is you get to see another Charger on the same Dukes of Hazzard episode that was a General Lee that's now not a General Lee anymore.
Right.
And I remember even as a kid noticing that and just thinking this is awesome.
And there's there's little bits like on the front edge of the hood. You can actually see some of the orange paint where there's damage. It's like the leading edge of the hood. You can see a little bit of orange showing through.
The General Lee, though, that Bo and Luke are driving has another rare thing, a trailer hitch.
Yeah.
What can't this car do? It can jump, it can outrun anybody, and it's a great tow vehicle.
Sure.
Now, the gist of the episode after all of this, though, is a Rolls-Royce. So Ace Parker, the used car dealer, somehow has a Rolls-Royce. And I don't know a lot about Rolls-Royces, but I Googled some Rolls-Royces. As far as I can tell, this is either a Silver Cloud 1 or a Phantom 5. And both cars kind of have that roundy shape to me.
Yeah.
A Silver Cloud 1 was 55 to 58, and a Phantom 5 was 59 to 68. That's it. That's all I know. Do you guys know what this is?
I don't have a clue. It's just an old Rolls Royce.
Boss Hogg's wife wanted a very nice car to impress the ladies club of Hazzard, who hates her. And Boss Hogg put the heat on Ace Parker to get that car. Only Ace Parker had legally sold it to someone. And that's the episode. We got to get this car back that was legally sold. It was legally sold to some mob people. But that's not important right now. What's important is that we must repo this car, and that's where Bo and Luke come in. And, shenanigans ensue. But they do end up getting the car after they've had to repo it twice, get chased by a Doberman. We see some hilarious stunt work where the guy portraying Bo is running in brown tennis shoes.
Oh, yeah.
With like white crew socks and all that. But then we get to this. Bo and Luke eventually come back to the car dealership to take their revenge on Ace Parker. And he is hiding. He's hiding in a French car. Bernie, do you know what he is hiding inside?
Actually, I was looking at the Cars movies lineup, and that Rolls-Royce is the Queen, and I can't remember if it's Cars 2 or Cars 3.
Cars 2.
It's 2. That's what I thought. Okay. So anyway, that... Is it a Citroen? Is that how you say that name?
I think it's Citroen. I don't know. You could be right. It's not that. It's one of the other French cars, and it's not a Renault. And the only reason I know what it is because I saw the letters on the hood. It is why this was at a small Georgia town dealership. I don't know. It is a Peugeot 504.
Peugeot. Yeah. Oh, Citroen is that banana-looking car.
Yeah.
I'm off base.
You're thinking of European Vacation.
I am.
Yes. Bo and Luke come sliding up with the General Lee, and while Luke is talking to Ace through the window while holding a running chainsaw, Bo walks around and takes a bow and arrow, pops all 4 tires. It is a very odd experience, but it is very, very awesome. At some point, Lulu Hogg is told that she could just have a brand new Rolls instead of all this shenanigans. And Ace Parker says a new Rolls, brand new, is $67,000.
Mm-hmm.
So I Googled it. Today, that would be about $300,000. So relative to inflation. But wouldn't you know it, a brand new Rolls-Royce is about $350,000 now for a base model Rolls. So we're in the ballpark.
Yeah, close enough.
Now, Bern, you've been around the broadcast land. Any big radio men show up in a Rolls?
No, the ego-driven ones usually are in the sports cars. They want the vet or they want something else. Usually something with 4 good tires on it in the radio biz.
4 good tires and a seat.
As long as it gets me to where I'm going.
4 tire.
4 effing tires. Yeah. Now, Corndog, you do repair like a lot of very nice cars.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had a Rolls in?
I have not.
You do like the really high dollar Mercedes and big Teslas and all that.
Yeah, I have not had a Rolls Royce though. I mean, we do have them around here, and we have more Bentleys, and we did have a Bentley come in that was, I thought I was going to get. It was hit pretty good in the front, and they ended up, I don't know if they totaled it or what, but they ended up and taking it somewhere else, and we never even touched it. But yeah, no Rolls-Royce.
As the episode progresses, you get several details that are kind of fun. It was clearly shot around Christmas time. There are Christmas decorations up in the town square.
Mm-hmm.
And is this Conyers, Georgia? What is
That's
the actual
Covington.
town?
That is
Covington,
Covington downtown. Yeah. And you can see a Dodge dealership in the background. I don't know if you noticed that.
I didn't, but it is raining, truly raining.
Yeah.
In several scenes. At one point, Bo and Luke pull up to the house, and Daisy's grabbing laundry off the line out there. And they pull up, they hop out of the General Lee, and they run inside. And I remember still thinking, like, as a kid, but the windows are down in the General. What do
you do about that?
In this situation? There's a mob crew. Now, the mob crew owns the Rolls-Royce, and they are printing money. And the bald guy in their crew is director Rod Amato.
Mm-hmm.
But there are 3 other actors, and they have some interesting ties. Claude Humphrey is the large African-American thug of an actor. He was born in June of 1944. He was an actor in the Dukes. He was on the NFL on CBS. He was on NFL Monday Night Football. He was previously married to Sandra K. Harrell. He died in 2021.
I believe he was a Atlanta Falcons player as well during this time.
I have all this research here, but it doesn't say what team he played for. I believe you. But I mean, he clearly looked like. At the end of the episode, when he's in the car with a shotgun, doesn't he look like he shoots the driver in the face?
Yeah, I was wondering that. How do you get such a, you're bouncing around on this car and, you just going to have the barrel of the gun right in front of the driver and pull off a shot. So, yeah, that would have been kind of hairy to, to try to do if that was real, which of course it wasn't. But
the person he almost shot in the face but didn't was the Italian mob leader boss here.
Yeah.
His name, his actor, I don't remember the name of the character, but his actual name is Larry Bishop. He is the son of Rat Pack icon Joey Bishop. And that's the most famous thing about it. After he graduated high school, he was in an improv group with, of all people, Rob Reiner, Albert Brooks, and Richard Dreyfuss. That's particular guy.
Interesting.
The Italian thug's wife is actress Judith Baldwin. Her famous roles outside of the Dukes are somewhat minor. She had a small part in the movie Pretty Woman, and she also played Ginger on Gilligan's Island. The second Ginger. She is the person who replaced actress Tina Louise on Gilligan's Island.
Wow, I forgot about that. There being another Ginger.
There have been several shows where they just replace, instead of a new character coming in, they just change the actor or the actress.
Yeah.
That is always a little bit weird.
No one will ever catch it. No one will ever see those old episodes again.
Somehow, Bo and Luke end up having to repo the roles a couple of times. And in the end, they decide to punish the mobsters. I still don't know why they do this, but they take Cooter's truck. They put a bunch of, what are those things? Mowing forks or fingers on the side of them. And they rip the mobsters' cars to bits. And like viciously. When you see the stunt guy in there driving the LTD, that stunt guy is sitting in the middle of the seat, steering the car.
And there's one scene where they actually have the actor, the Bishop guy, driving it. I mean, there's no, collision, and at that point the car was already ripped to shreds, but he's sitting there driving it with no doors on it, and the Cooter's tow truck's right beside of them. So, but yeah, to be the stunt man driving the car while it was being ripped to shreds is kind of, I don't know that they can get away with that today.
Well, they have Rod Amato do it too. He's in a Nova,
and
a little 4-door Nova, and they, again, the whole point here is to be destructive as possible. But Bo is driving this truck, and he rips these cars open like a can opener, through a tin can.
Yeah.
And the cars have clearly been the bumpers have been loosened and the fenders have been loosened. I mean, everything comes apart pretty nice.
Right.
But at one point, as he's ripping the nose off the Nova, the fender comes off, the bumper comes off, and the camera shot is on the front of the Nova. The Nova runs over its own bumper.
Yeah.
I mean, it is really crazy, crazy good stunts. And it ends, and they somehow decide that to get back at everyone and go scot-free, they need to crush the Rolls-Royce. And they do so into a little thin, nice square, but they keep the Rolls-Royce grill. They put it on the front. They stick it in Ace Parker's car lot. They leave. And at the end of the episode, Roscoe is a good policeman, and he discovers what's the little bar in there that they're printing money off of?
Yeah, the printing plate. Which it looks like a cartoon. I mean, it looks like it was only good for printing Monopoly money, maybe.
That's the episode. Soup to nuts. Now, Bern, you typically don't have to do a lot during the review section, but I know that you watch this episode door to door.
Mm-hmm.
What's your take on the Georgia episodes?
I love them because they're simple. Something I think you guys have talked about many, many times before. I love that Waylon, the balladeer, he is still introducing the characters to us, still setting the table for the episode and letting us keep getting the new viewers up to speed. It's probably a new episode on TV, so they know new people are tuning in. They're introducing them to them.
Mm-hmm.
I love that Bo can still goose Daisy coming out of the kitchen, and it's cool like that. And so it's just simple, and the stunts are good, the cars are good, the story, meh. You don't want a plot or a storyline getting in the way of the TV program so much. But with the car crushing, you knew that was coming. They spent so much time with Cooter enjoying himself crushing a car. It's like, okay, one of these cars is going to get it.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be the Rolls, but we'll see.
I have a few clips in here that'll be fun to go through. There's a very unique component of the theme music on here. There's only one Yahoo, and it's only Bo.
Fighting the system like a true modern-day Robin Hood.
Just one. Where's the other Yahoo?
Keep it simple.
Sore throat.
I like Bo and Luke's chemistry in the beginning. They're kind of jibber-jabbering back and forth. I like the Murphy's Law joke.
Once. Hey, if something can go wrong, you can be double damn sure it will. That's Murphy's Law. This guy Murphy, is he a race driver? He must be. Everybody talks about him.
That sets the stage.
You think he was adjusting the idol under the hood? When he came out there, just popped it open, got his
I don't know what he
pocket
was
corn
screwdriver
knife out and stuck something in there, and then done.
Yeah.
What was he doing?
What's that?
And to that point, the idol seemed a little high on the car to me.
Hard to say.
Yeah.
I don't know. There is the douchiest of used car moments in here. And it is just
I think I know what it is.
fantastic.
I got it. You need it.
I got it. You want it. It's this one.
That wreck out there, how much you give us if we hauled off for you?
Well, now, that's $700, boys. We both know what it is and what it's worth.
We'll take it.
Since you Duke boys quit making whiskey, you ain't earned $700 in a year.
We give you 200 and you can hold it.
I'm holding it now. You see, it's on special today, but tomorrow, price is $1,000.
Well, how come?
Because you need it. I got it. It's the only one around.
We've all dealt with that. That's the worst because you do want it.
Yeah.
And they have it. And it is the only one around.
I want it, but I don't need it.
Oh, it's just the worst. And again, that guy's not an actor. He's just an inspiration for he's really good in here.
He's just a good old boy.
I went and I looked for him on YouTube. He's since passed away, I believe, but
yeah,
I found an interview of him like in his house with a lady about all of his life stories. It was shot in 2011. And while he certainly looks older in 2011, he sounds the same. And he tells all these amazing stories. It's worth a listen if you're into it. I think he would have been a great recurring character.
Yeah, I think so too. Because he's got the part down pretty good. And I mean, he is the true good old boy Duke, I guess you'd call it. But so I mean, he knows the role he's trying to portray. So yeah, he would have been good.
There's one more scene in here that I really like. And that is where Boss Hogg just has zero desire to put up with CB talk. I don't know why it's so funny to me, but it is.
They're leaving now.
That's a 10-4, little fat buddy. Keep your gown down and keep the pedal to the metal. That's a big 10-4. I'm over and I'm gone.
Never mind that CB trucker's trash talk. Just say, yes, sir, when I'm done.
Yes, sir. Take care.
I like that one.
That might actually be the first time we hear Roscoe call him his little fat buddy.
Is it?
It will be. I can't remember.
I'll go with that. Let's end here. For our viewers, you don't know the name Nathan Warren, but you will. Nathan Warren owns a shop in Alabama, right? Hamilton, Alabama, called Warren Customs. He did the push bar on My Generally and a lot of other work. But he is, in his heart of hearts, and visibly, Cooter Davenport. When you see the two side by side, you would guess he was Cooter's son. And he says stuff like this.
As close as you can get in half without being dead.
That's Nathan Warren. When I see this episode with Cooter, especially young Cooter, I think of Nathan Warren a lot. All right, that's the episode. That is Repo Men. I gave it 9. I don't know why I didn't give it 10, but I didn't. It's great. 9. What do you, Corndog? What's yours?
It's definite 10. I love the Georgia stuff. It's more accurate, more realistic to me. I always like the Georgia stuff, so they're always 10s.
Bern, how about you?
I'll give it a 9. It might have been a 10, but you never outvote your boss. So I have to be at a 9.
Okay, if I had said 10, would you have said 10?
Absolutely.
I'm going to change mine to 10. What's your change?
I'm a 10.
Great. 10s across the board. And we rank in corn dogs, for you new viewers, not the man, the food. Don't know why, we just do. That's
Sounds
it for
good.
this episode. You can find the audio version of this show with all the links that are probably below right now. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. It's in all the normal places. It's also at themusclecarplace.com. That's our actual website. Please follow us on all the social channels. Channels?
Channels.
That's how they say it now.
Yeah.
Channels.
Yeah. Best of all, share it on your social channels because that's the way that things like this actually grow. Fellas, anything else before we go?
I have 3 quick Chuck Norris jokes. We haven't done them in a while.
Remember,
Ready?
we're on YouTube now.
Number 1, Chuck Norris cuts a knife with melted butter.
Okay.
Chuck Norris kicked a horse in the chin, but we call them giraffes now.
Gotcha. Good one.
Number 3, Chuck Norris is Victoria's Secret.
That's your best one.
That's a good one.
All right, gang. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Fellas, I will see you next week. We will not have a show on YouTube next week, but the audio show will return with our famous review of Days of Thunder. Enjoy the Daytona 500, actually, and the Super Bowl too. We'll be back the 3rd week of February, whatever week that is. See you later. Bye-bye.
Later.
That's the legends of how the Duke boys put Boss and Ace out of the hot car business and got themselves off the hook by destroying the Rolls, which was Roscoe's phony evidence. They even put a counterfeit ring out of business, too.